Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how I've been turning tea tins, or these really cute tins with tea pouches inside, into really easy planters to put my plants in. So here I'll show you an example of one I already did. This, I just left the tin exactly as it is, and this one is an example of one that I painted. I'll tell you why I left this one exactly as it is. It is chocolate mint tea, and I did get this at Target. It's from the brand Harney & Sons Fine Teas. They sell them at Target, and the tea is chocolate mint tea. I love the tea, and what I planted inside are cuttings from a chocolate mint plant. So in this case, I left the tin just as it was. I made holes at the bottom. I'll show you how I did that. And I think it's just perfect chocolate mint tea and chocolate mint growing in the tin. I also saw at Target a lavender color tin, which in the spring I want to go get that tea, and I'm sure I'll love the tea because I love trying new teas, and plant lavender in it for springtime. And also, a good thing about this is the lid is perfect to set the pot on and catch the water that comes out. So it comes, everything you need comes right together. Okay, now today we're going to be potting my pothos plant. So this pothos cutting actually came from this plant. Okay, so this plant, I got this pothos. It has grown so much. It's really happy in this pot, and I got this 2 months ago. It was half the size, and I got it in just a little container smaller than this, and then I put it in here, and it started growing, and it got to where there were long enough pieces that had root nodes on them. So this plant, this beautiful plant, is called a pothos, and it grows vines that have root nodes. And there's so many good videos on how to identify the root node and take a cutting. So I'll put a link to a good one in the description box. That's done by a professional plant company. But basically, let me show you what has happened when I took the cutting and put it in this bottle of water. It's been about 3 weeks, and it's grown some beautiful roots. It is so interesting to me how the roots have grown from the root nodes, and they're not just like plain smooth roots. I don't know if you can see the texture, but I really love seeing the texture of the roots and what they use to absorb all the nutrients and water from the soil. I think it's so cool. And so this guy is ready to get potted. I could leave him in the water a bit longer and the roots would keep on growing, but for now I think it's time for him to get potted, and then in springtime I'm going to put him into a bigger pot and use this for herbs. But for now, I needed a quick pot to repot my pothos, and I thought, okay, time to make another container out of a tea tin. So the one that this came from was actually from this Trader Joe's pumpkin spice rooibos tea, and this I think would also be great to turn into a planter if you're doing some fall themed decor. You could take this and plant some marigolds in it and put it with your pumpkins or squash or whatever. I'm not doing fall decor this year because I just moved into a new place and I'm not even done nearly done with regular decor, but maybe another year I'll take this and keep it just as it is, put the holes in the bottom, and put a little marigold plant in it. I think that would look so cute, and it could go in the window together next to this guy. But for this one, I wanted to paint it because it's gonna go in my bedroom, and I have a lot of light blue in my bedroom. For me, it's the most uplifting color. I love to see light blue when I wake up and start my day off right. So how did I turn this into this? Well, I started by making 4 holes at the bottom. Very easy to do. That's another good thing about using these T-tins, is it's so easy to put the holes at the bottom. So what I did, I took a hammer and where's the nail? Here it is. So you want to put this down on a firm surface, like the ground outside would be the best. And you just put the nail on and bang 3 times, just tap it, it'll go right through. You can use a smaller nail as well if you have one. This is just what I had. And it doesn't have to be in this pattern, but just enough holes for the water to drain out. And then, like I said, the lid of the T-tin goes right on the bottom like this. You can set it like that for the water to drain out into. And there is another method where you don't put holes and you just put pebbles on the bottom, but if the container allows you to put holes into it like this one does, you should definitely put holes so that the water actually does leave the container. The pebble method is what I use for if I'm using a glass container or ceramic. Like I like to use old candle containers, reuse those, upcycle old candle containers for a planter, and those there is a drill bit for drilling holes into glass, but I'm not at that level of DIY yet, so that for those I use the pebble method. But when possible to make the holes, the plant will be much happier that way, and you don't have to worry about root rot that happens when the roots are standing in water or soil that is way too moist. So anyways, that's how I made the holes. And then for painting, I mean, really the possibilities are endless. If you like to spray paint, you could do that, but I wanted a kind of I don't know if it shows up on the camera very well, and that's actually the ugliest side. But I wanted a textured look, almost like painted wood. So I just took these 2 acrylic paints, one white and one turquoise. These were basically the cheapest craft paints they had at Michael's, and I bought them like 5 years ago or more. I wasn't even sure if they'd still be good, but I shook them up and they got the job done. And then to paint, I just used this sponge thing, and I did 1 coat white going vertically up. It did take a bit of patience to get the texture that I want. So I did 1 coat of white going vertically up, and then when you get to this ridge thing, you might have to do some sponge action and then make sure to go back over it to smooth it out. And then for the second coat, when this was almost dry but not completely, I started adding turquoise into the white paint, picking it up on the sponge, and went back and did the same thing. Looking back, the challenge was to actually turn it, and I would have to like hold it with my hand inside of it like this. But if you have a Lazy Susan or a spinning cake decorator or something, that would make it easier. Or even put it on a cardboard box that you can spin the box. That was something that I thought, okay, next time I'm going to think ahead and figure out how to spin the container before I start painting it. And then I left the inside as it is because I think the complement of this kind of copper shiny goes well. And another idea I had, I want to keep this just plain textured light blue, but if you had a copper or gold or rose gold fabric pen or paint pen or even spray paint. I think that would be such a nice way to continue decorating. For example, if you plant basil in it, you could write a bee or basil or do some triangle design, something like that. So I'm going to be doing more of these for spring, for my spring herb garden, and maybe I'll get a paint pen for that. But for today, we're just going to be planting my little pothos in the tea tin, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go get put some soil in here and give it a nice soaking of water. The water will come right out the bottom, and then I have this to catch it. And so stay tuned, I'll be right back to show you the finished result. Alright, so here's the finished result, and when I put it on my night table, because this is going to go right by my bed, keep me company, then I'll put the lid on the bottom to catch the water and any soil that may drain out. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. For now, it was a good solution for a quick planter that I needed. In the spring, I'll put this guy in a bigger pot and put some herbs in here. But for now, seems happy in there. So anyways, hope that gave you an idea for how you can upcycle a tea tin, to a quick planter. And let me know if you tried it out or what other containers you like to upcycle for planters. Like I already mentioned, I like to use candle containers and also old vases. So there's really so many ways that you can start getting more plants into your home or on your patio, and you don't have to go and buy like so many pots all at once, because that can be pricey. So you can start out like I did, just with one plant, one pothos, and with patience, then you can go taking cuttings, and you'll see how your plant collection can grow. And that's the same thing I did with this guy. I saw a chocolate mint plant at the store that had not been taken well care of. It was completely overgrown. It was late in the season. I guess they thought no one was going to buy it. So I took it home and took the cuttings and let them sit in water for about 3 weeks. They grew out their roots, and I planted them in here. And now you can see that they're doing fine. They're happy in there. So yeah, let me know if you try this. I also think it would make a great gift, and I do plan to do more for my office as well. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. And I just wanted to say I am recovering from tonsillitis, so that's why my voice sounds a little bit different, and that's also why I have not made a video in a while. I've had so many video ideas that I wanted to try, and then I got tonsillitis and could not talk. So thank you for tuning in, and in 5 days I'll be leaving to Mexico City, and I do plan to take some video footage in Mexico City, but I just don't know what you might like to see. I'm planning to do maybe vegan foods and where I eat vegan food in Mexico City. And so if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see in a video about my trip to Mexico City, I'd love to hear your suggestions in the comments, and I'll do my best to get that footage. And also, I will probably be going back to Mexico City again in the near future, so if I can't get it this round, leave this comments and I'll get it the next time. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy with my plants in their tea tin containers. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.